Hello, welcome to Kristi's Kropping and Creating. I am Kristi Boland and I live in South Carolina. I've been a Creative Memories advisor for 27 years, and I love doing these videos where I teach you something, or most of the time, quite honestly, I'm just copying what somebody else did. And this evening, I'm going to do an idea from the Creative Memories blog, and it's in celebration of Creative Memories' birthday. So Creative Memories turns 9 this year. The new company. That's why, how can you have been an advisor for 27 years if it's only 9 years old? Most of you are probably familiar with the fact that we have what we call old company and new company. And so the new company's turning 9, and we have a birthday bonanza celebration. You can get a free 101 sketch idea booklet, 101 page or 101 ideas. I don't even know. And a color wheel keychain. And the color wheel, what's really neat about this particular color wheel is it actually tells you the colors of cardstock and things like that that's in the Creative Memories line. So go grab that while you can. We also have a new Christmas cheer collection. That Christmas cheer collection, I'll show it to you in just a second when I switch over to my desktop, but it's $107.50, and that $100 order gets you that free sketchbook and color wheel keychain. So that alone will earn you the things. But if you need to stock up on pages and page protectors, tape runner refills, whatever, just make sure you go grab that special while you can. And in addition to that, there is a fun sketch challenge. If you do this sketch and turn it in by Sunday evening, you will qualify for a prize package. And so go check that out. You'll see the sketch in just a minute. And if you need to find out exactly how to enter it, please reach out to me, because I don't know right off the top of my head. I think it's through the virtual Facebook page, but it might be in a different way that you need to submit your idea. The sketch is a single page, and I'm going to turn it into a double page. I'm also going to take it from it being a vertical design, I guess you could say. We're going to turn it over on its side, and that's how I'm going to turn it into a double page spread. So I have not completely mapped out how I'm going to create this evening. So hopefully this will not be a long video, but if it is, I apologize ahead of time, but just hang in there with me. At least you can fast forward if you want to, instead of watching me and listening to me as I try to figure things out. I do have out the paper colors that I'm going to use, and I do have out the tools that I'm going to use, all of which should still be available. So you can head over to my website if you do need to place an order. And thank you for supporting me if you don't already have an advisor. Thank you for watching my YouTube, and make sure you subscribe to it so that you'll know each week when I do a new video. Most of my videos go live on Thursday, but occasionally I'll pop in on a Tuesday or a Wednesday instead of a Thursday. So again, thank you for watching. Now let me switch over to my desktop so that I can show you these things that are going to be something of interest to you. This is the Christmas cheer collection, and it does have 2 paper packs. It comes with embellishments, variety mats, stickers. This is a nutcracker border punch. This is a build an ornament punch. The only way you can get this punch right now is in this bundle. It will be available again later individually, but right now it's only in this bundle. And then this is a candy cane border maker cartridge, and you can use it so many different ways. So it's really, really cool. This is an embellishment package of Santas and Mrs. Claus and the sleigh and things like that. And that only way you can get this is in the bundle. So until October 13th, or while supplies last, because if we run out of something, we don't have the bundle anymore. The bundle is discounted down to $107.50 from 119.50 down to 107. So go grab that while you can. Let me see if I have a picture. The sketchbook is it would look like that when it's open. There's the little keychain that has the color wheel on it, helps you figure things out. Ooh, there's also a totally tonal buffet right now, so you can grab 3 new totally tonal packages and get some free things too. Avocado, blue, and beige. We have not had those available yet. So now I'm going to scroll to find the sketch. This is the sketch for the birthday bonanza. It does have measurements on it, and like I said, we're going to take it from here. Now my iPad is probably going to rotate the photo as I try to rotate. We're going to turn it on its side. See, yeah, it's going to rotate. But look at how cute this one is right here, where they show you the embellishment cluster on the sketch. They made donuts. They're so cute. Happy birthday donuts. I love it. We just went to Nashville, and it is one of my favorite places to be. And so I have not done a sample, and I had in my mind a way I wanted to create a border with different border maker cartridges. And since I love going to Nashville, it's not my home, but I'm going to use the Home Sweet Home. I'm going to use the rustic fence. The current rustic fence would be in a black cartridge like this one is. I had the original, which it's the same thing. It was so popular that they brought it back. And I'm going to use the Barn and Fence border maker cartridge as well. And I'm going to use papers from the Wanderlust collection. And I'm also going to use, I'm going to use Autumn Hay Shimmer as my base pages. I pulled out a sheet of dark sea green in case I need it. And since I didn't know how I was going to incorporate all this yet. But I love the papers from the Wanderlust. And I'm not going to waste your time like flipping through all of these. And I don't have all of the sheets out. But the back of this is cameras, like kind of old-fashioned cameras and luggage. And then the front, it looks like a piece of leather. And then at least 2 of these are from the tonal pack from Wanderlust, this one and this. And so I pulled out these for us to create with, to make this sketch. Let me see, how can I go back? Let me just go ahead and show you these 2 really quick too. I liked the chevron design. I may use it to actually make my border with those 3 cartridges. This is a lot of words, the wish to travel far and wide, and then it just has a lot more sayings. And I also love this stripe. And interestingly enough, I like vertical stripes, but obviously this one is meant to be horizontal because the words, if you use it vertically, then you're not going to be able to use your words in the right orientation. So it'll work either way. The thing about using stripes also, if you're doing some sort of border, if you use it this way, then you're less likely to have more color than if you're using it this way. Hopefully that makes sense to you. It might not, but that's the way my brain is still trying to tell you right now. This page kind of has a map. 1 or 2 of the tonal collection papers also have like a city street map. I'm not sure what city this might be from. It doesn't really matter because when you're using it in the way that I'm going to use it, it wouldn't matter if it's correct to the geography of where we're going to be. So these are the papers that I've chosen. And again, this is going to be very, very authentic and generic in me creating this page, since I have not pre-arranged anything other than knowing that I want to use these 3 border maker cartridges. So I'll probably be going back and forth like several times. From the sketch, I know that I have a base page in this birthday picture. It's not going to let me zoom in. Let me see. In the birthday picture, it's this kind of aquish color back here, and then they've got this strip on either side of a different paper. That strip is 1.5 by 12 inches. So I'm going to need 4 of those, because I've already told you that we're going to do a double page spread, and instead of doing it vertically, we're going to turn it horizontally. So I'm going to, right now, I'm going to go ahead and cut 4 1.5 by 12-inch strips. And I know I told you just a second ago, but let me put this out here to remind you that Autumn Hay Shimmer is going to be my base. I've got embellishments piled over here that I'm potentially going to be using. So I think I want, not think, I want my strips to be out of this leather paper, and 1.5 by 12. Let me cut 4 of them. Maybe I should just cut 1 and then make my border strip to make sure it's going to work the way I want it to work. So I'll just cut 1 for now, 1.5 by 12. And if I have that across the top, and then my border is also going to be across the top. I'm trying to remember. Oh, it was this one. I'm gonna make 2, not 4, even though I would need 4 of the 1.5 by 12s. I'm only gonna need 2 of my border maker punches, because I don't think I'm going to do 2 across the top and 2 across the bottom. I'm probably only going to do 2 across the bottom and then let the top actually be for my words. And this might not work the way I'm thinking that it's going to work with this chevron pattern, but I hope that it will work the way I want it to work. So let me grab a cardboard to put under me to help me catch my trash. They're sticking together and I didn't want to bring out 2. Sorry, that's taking a minute. I'm going to start with my barn and fence. Let me take a sip of my drink. I'm so sorry. So this is not, the border maker isn't used in that sketch, but that's okay. You don't have to do exactly what's in the sketch. And I'm only going to punch 1 of the barn before I switch to the rustic fence. And this rustic fence might not work out great with the fence that's attached to the barn, but I hope that it does. Oh, that's going to be cool. So I'm going to punch 2 of the rustic fences. I just realized I'm going to be 1 short because I was thinking 5 punches. So let's see. Let's go. I'll do a house. The home sweet home is what I should say. The home sweet home was going to be on the end. Now it's going to be there in the middle. And then I'm going to switch back to the fence. So this is a lot of switching, but y'all just bear with me because this is what I envisioned. And I'll end with the barn again. Now, Nashville, where I went to, isn't necessarily all of these barns and houses and fences, because I was in downtown where I like to be. But this is what I want to create. And unfortunately, I don't have my pictures printed yet, so you're not going to see it, at least not yet, with the finished photos. I'm going to get my trimmer back out. I'm going to cut this off. And let's see, it is about a 1-inch border, and that strip that it's going to be layered on was 1.5 inches. I'm going to cheat it up to 1 1/8 inches, and that way I'll still have a good border, but I'm also not risking cutting off the bottom of this. And then you'll see in just a moment how this is going to work. This is exactly what I wanted to do, y'all. Isn't that going to be cool? So I'm going to keep my trimmer out. Let me throw away this trash. There were some cute little hearts in there from that house, but if y'all know, if you've watched me at all, you know I like to save all kinds of scraps and punch poop, but I'll not save it just to, because when am I ever going to go back and use it, right? Let me go ahead and cut 3 more 1.5 by 12 since I had already cut one. There's 3. This will be the 4th one. And then we'll make another one of those order maker punched pieces. Let me move my trimmer. And let's keep this so I can see what I'm needing to do. I need the barn first, which I have in here. Switch to the fence. In terms of scale, it's like this fence is too tall for the house and for the barn and all that, but I still like it because it's the vision that I was going for, even if it's not to scale the way it should be. So I switched back to the home sweet home, back to the fence. And then lastly, the barn and fence. So maybe you've never seen anybody switch cartridges. Maybe you have. But if you have not, now you know that you can very easily just switch your cartridges and have your own custom border by adding the different cartridges to your strip without taking it out of the holder. So I did that first one at 1 1/8. Cut this one again. Since they will be going across the top or bottom of a page, it's important to get them the same. It's a little bit off, it won't matter that much, but you do want it to be as close to the same as possible. So there's my second one, and I'll stop right there for long enough for me to see how do I want to use this on the page if I'm doing it at the bottom. So let's pretend like this is at the top, this is the bottom. Grab my other sheet. That can go across the top. This will go across the bottom. And remember, it is me turning the sketch on its side. And that's why it would still qualify as long as they can tell that you started with the sketch. You know, it doesn't have to be exact. I don't have to use the same papers. I don't have to use the same collection. I don't even have to do a triple embellishment cluster right there and a double right there. I can do just whatever such that they can tell that it's the same. So I do think that if I were to also put this at the top and the bottom, I think it would kind of be overkill. So I'll leave this just at the bottom and I'll use the top to create a title somehow, which is what they've done here with the happy birthday. All right, my next step, well, why don't I just go ahead and adhere this down? So I'll put these down and then we'll go to the next step of figuring out photo placement. And the sketch has 2 photos on it. If I end up doing 4, that's perfectly fine. I'm sure that I wouldn't get kicked out of the challenge for having having more pictures on the page. I don't know what number I said just a minute ago, but since it's turning into a double page spread, if I had more than 4 photos on the double, I think it would be okay. And I like having room to put a lot of photos on a page because of the fact that I take a lot of pictures and I don't want to have, you know, a zillion pages of the event. So center this on the, kind of center it rather. I'm gonna have about the same amount of space above the top of the barn and the fence as I do down here at the bottom. And I'm putting my repositionable adhesive on my piece over here on the silicone mat because I don't want it to junk up my paper where I would maybe end up getting something stuck to it, or my mat, even worse, because then I'd have to clean my mat, and I don't want to have to clean my mat. I don't have time for that. Just like I don't have time to keep my room completely organized and all. So now I can put the adhesive on the back. I do like having 2 12 by 12 mats side by side so that I can use the measurements on the mat to get things straight and to place things in the same area. The funny thing is though, is that I thought I had 2 things stuck together, sorry. I often don't put them inside the grid that's made for the 12 by 12 because I want them to look like they're exactly side by side as if they were in my album, when in reality there's a hole in between 2 pages when they're in your album too, because you've got the spine. But anyway. Okay, so I have that part done. Well, let's see. So my photo mats need to be 6.5 by 4.5. And since I turn this on its side, I get to decide, for instance, oh, if I could keep that from turning. Do I want 4 vertical photos? Do I want, what do I want to do other than the 4 vertical spaces? But either way, I now need to decide which papers I want to use to be my photo mats. One thing I really like the colors in this stripe. Now, if it's my mat, it's not going to show that much, but it would show some. And it's going to show, if I leave these words, I really want to do it this way though. So you know what? I'm going to cut it where the stripes are vertical. I'm going to use this for at least 2 of them. And remember, they're going to be 6.5 by 4.5, so that when you take a 4 by 6 photo, if you do not crop it at all, you still have the bear with me here while I'm thinking through this, since I'm turning it one way. You don't have to crop your photo, but you've still got a perfect mat. So I need to cut this on the 4.5 with the stripes going horizontally if I'm then going to use it vertically. Or cut it, let's see, 4.5, 6.5. Oh yeah. Okay. If I do it wrong, then I do it wrong. But this is where I often can't figure out what I just did and how did I do it or whatever. So that's the 4.5. Here's the 6.5. Yes, I did it the way I wanted to because there's my mat. Now this piece is 4.5 by 5.5. I don't have to throw it away. I can use it somewhere else on this page layout or on a different layout, but it's not the right size to use for the second photo mat. So I do need to cut another one at 4.5 inches. Turn it the other way after that to get to the 6.5. And this means that unless I pull out another sheet of this paper, I'm not going to get all of my mats out of that one sheet for it to even be 4. So now I need to decide which paper is going to be my other 2 mats. And I've already used a decent amount of this. Could use the cameras maybe. And we'll think about that one. I've used the chevron pattern in the barn and fence. I could still do that, and it wouldn't clash with the stripe. And I just remembered something else I had thought that I was going to do, but it doesn't matter. I could use this because that will bring out those colors. I don't want to use this one. I know that it's too generic, too neutral. That's the word I'm looking for. Or I could just use the dark sea green because it brings out the colors in the other papers. What do I want to do? I'm going to go with not doing that pattern, the camera pattern, even though I like it, because it needs to be that. I think that'll be too much pattern. Now this pattern would be okay because it is so basic, but yes, I'm going to go ahead and use this one. So again, I'm going to cut at 4.5 inches. Then 6.5. Do that one more time. So what I'll do is I'll do one of each on each page. And just a minute ago when I said I just remembered something that I was going to do, let me show you what that was. I know I used Autumn Hay as the background, and technically this teal color right here on the happy birthday page, it's not just teal, it does have a design, but it is the background paper, and Autumn Hay Shimmer is my background paper, but I had thought about putting either a strip going this way or a strip going vertically, even though I turned it horizontal. I thought about doing that, but now I'm okay that I forgot. However, I could maybe still get away with it, especially if I did it across the 2 pages. I'm just thinking though that it really isn't going to need more of it. This layout I think is not going to need more because I'm going to have enough between the photos, the decorative border, my title, and whatever embellishments that I use, I think. So let me go back to that. All right, so there's a journaling box that's 3.25 by 4.5. So I can decide what to cut that out of. And this paper would be easy to write on. It's going to blend in pretty much to the background of the Autumn Hay Shimmer. But let's see, it seems like one of these things that I got out, yeah, that may end up layering onto the page should I choose to use it that way. And then I also pulled out these things. This could be a neat frame. This is it's a journaling box in and of itself. Top 5 moments, photo op. Love this place. And then it has its own journaling box. So I heart travel. I like what that says too. I'm going to keep this one out. And this. So let's see, it said 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. Let's see what the size of this is just on its own. 2, 3. So that's 3 by 4. So 3 by 4. If I wanted to use one of these two. And then this strip is 3 inches. Oh, so it's not as wide as I thought it was. So if I'm going to follow the measurements exactly, then I need bigger than this strip. But I think what I'll do is just go ahead and shrink it down to 3 by 4. So this is 3 inches. And I'm going to cut a 4-inch strip. When I do that, that will look good on there. So maybe I'll just use this as an embellishment. And then I might still use one of these or both of those on the page. So I'm just going to hang on to that for a minute. Since I'm turning this into a 2-page spread, I don't have to have 2 of those 3 1/2 by 4 1/2, or excuse me, 3 1/4 by 4 1/2 inch journaling boxes. I could, but I don't have to. And just like I don't have to now do 6 of those embellishment clusters, 3 in each cluster. So keep that in mind, that when you turn something into a double page spread, it doesn't mean that you literally have to double everything. You can just double some of the things, but not all of them. I'm gonna think about this for a minute, because I know I would love to be able to use this really cool design, and it would work with my color palette on either side. I wonder if I should consider cutting it in half and it going across the pages, something like that. Something to think about. I just might do it. Cut this right in half. We're gonna do it, y'all. So put this on my cut line. And I will cut through and use the sight lines to make sure I've got it where I want it. Looks like that's good. Everybody hold your breath while I cut. Yay! So now I just need to decide with the dark on dark, or do I want to do it like this and it brings this lighter color that I ended up doing down here. I think that's what I like. See how that will look when it's actually in my book. Was it necessary to use this great big old embellishment? Probably not, but I just think it's cool. And I'll figure out a way to incorporate it better into my design in a minute. Maybe I won't. Who knows? Let me adhere this little tag to this piece that I cut from that paper, and I'm just going to kind of center it on there. Actually, maybe I want to do it kind of, I think I do. I'm going to do it kind of catty cornered like this. So this will go down here, and let me get my repositionable adhesive on this to put up here. I still have room for the title to go up there with this. We're just going to let that kiss the inside edge of the page like that. Now you do want to make sure when you're doing something like this, you're going to want to make sure the design is going to meet the way it's supposed, you know, so that it does look seamless. Even though, like I said earlier, you'll still have the gutter between your pages when it's in your scrapbook, but you know, make sure you're lining them up so that they meet in the right place. Okay, now move those things out of the way for a second. I'm wondering if one of these little titles could layer onto this. Actually, a couple of them might could. Exploring the city. I did explore the city a little bit. Let's go travel. I like any of these things, maybe just one of them to go on the mat, but the other ones could be at various places on my page, filling the requirement for the embellishment cluster. Oh, it's a little bit off camera. I'm so sorry. Let me squeeze back in here and see if y'all can see that. I don't know that I like all the words together like that. I like the way the weight of that is looking. Of course, I've got these back off kilter, but it might be too many words. I might be trying too hard as far as that goes. So let me think about that for a minute, and let me see, go back to the sketch to see what else I need. There's an embellishment cluster on this photo and then again on this photo. And speaking of which, I should probably get some mats out to put on these photo mats. As a matter of fact, before I stick the white things that represent the photos down on these photo mats, let me go ahead and adhere them. And I will go ahead and tell you too, I do not have out my sticker letters, so I'm not going to do a title on camera right now. And when I publish this video, it probably will still not have the title on it. So y'all just going to have to pretend like y'all know what it's supposed to say up there. Maybe I can fake it with a piece of white cardstock real quick. I'll just write title. Put these down here at the bottom, about the same width from the edge of the page. I'll put these up here. I was trying to decide, did I need to overlap that leather paper or not? I think I'm gonna not, since I don't have to. Oops. One of my hairs was stuck to the adhesive. I shed a lot of hair because I have a lot of hair. Okay, and then I will take my box here, put it down. Let's see, I'll do it straight up and down, whereas I did the tag catty cornered. Or do I want to do both of them catty cornered? Decisions. I think I'll do them both catty cornered like that. And let's see, do I still want to use any of these pieces? I don't really have room for this anymore, which is okay because with that grayscale and the browns, I don't like it as much. This one, only if I cut something else apart would I have room for it. I think that's going to be it. of the choices that I pulled out ahead of time. I don't think I really have any other choices. You know what? I wonder, stickers. Let me see if I have any stickers with this collection that I might want to use. Oh, this is like big time road trip, like camping and out in nature. Again, this is called the Wanderlust Collection. Now this cityscape right here, I could use on the layout. So I'm gonna hang on to that thought for just a moment, and let me go back to my photo mats so I can show y'all a better way of how this will look. Oh man, where are my 4x6s? I don't think I have enough. So it will be like this. You're just gonna have to pretend like that's written horizontally, since I don't have, those are 3.5x5s. I'm talking to myself. Yeah, you're just gonna have to pretend like those are written in the correct orientation, since I don't have others laying out here. But look, it's coming together pretty quickly. Let me grab a Post-it note. And let's see here. So the title, and it'll probably, I'm probably going to say something like, I love Nashville or something like that. I'm not exactly sure what my title is gonna be. It'll depend on which 4 photos we use. It might say Music Row Happy Hour because we got into Music Row Happy Hour again. I love going to that radio show. Um, and so I need to decide, do I want to use that there? And these here, I could do a cluster of the camera, the city, and well, I don't really see another one on there. Maybe that arrow. I'm going to put down this photo op. Adhere it is what I mean. I'm going to adhere where, oh, I should have used squares. I'm going to adhere this, and then I'm going to adhere it with foam squares. And then I'm going to take another look again at what I have, and I might just stop because I don't want y'all to be totally bored with me trying to design and think and and everything, because I want you to keep watching. If you don't have an advisor, like I said earlier, I would love for you to let me help you. You can order from my website, which is creativememories.com/user/Kristi Boland. And I know since I halved that, I wonder, should I cut this apart and do photo on one side and op on the other? I think I'm going to. And I'm going to kind of cut it in this wavy pattern like the outline of the rest of it is. If I end up hating it, I'll fix it later. Photo's a much bigger word than op, but still. I think I like it. Do need to move it over just a touch. Unfortunately, my foam squares weren't completely down. I had to move it over because that O in photo was too close to the edge of the paper, and I can't have that because then I wouldn't be able to put it on the page correctly. So let's see here if I want to adhere these or not. Let's go back to the sketch one more time. And y'all pardon me for not adhering these pretend photos, which are the white cardstock that have 4x6 written on them. I just wanted you to be able to see how this is going to look with the mats that I created. So again, we turned it sideways. I definitely need something down here, whether it's this or another picture and some other embellishments and things like that. But I think I'm just going to stop right now and play with it a little more off camera. I'll take a picture and it will be posted with the video. Thank you for watching. I didn't spell my name for you earlier, or at least I don't think I did. So let me hold this up. I know I do this basically every week, but Kristi is Kristi. Bolin is spelled Bolin. So at the end of creativememories.com/user, you have to put my name. And if you need to email me, you can reach me at kristibolin@gmail.com. I do teach a weekly class that's called Kristi's Kroppers. It's a subscription group, and if you want to join that class, be sure to email me and let me know that you would like more information about joining. Go do a page using the birthday sketch so that you can potentially win a prize. And as always, don't hesitate to let me know an idea that you want to see, or if you need to know how to use a tool, or if you are looking for a specific product, just please reach out to me and I will see you next week. Thanks so much.